Hi, everyone. I'm Maggie Ostara, and I received a really strong message just now in my meditation, and I was also directed to share it with you. And that has actually never happened before. And so this may be the beginning of me starting to share more of messages that I receive from my higher self and from my guides. And just so you know, I've been working with my guides and channeling my higher self for many years, but in the last few years, it's become much more strong as I have really focused on developing that skill. So the message really had to do with the Mercury retrograde, which is going to start on Monday, June 29th. And it's going to happen in the gate 62. Now, Mercury has been in the gate 62 for a couple of weeks already by the time it goes retrograde. And so it's going to stay in the gate 62 for a full month. And this is unusual because Mercury usually stays in a gate for 5 to 6 days, just moves right through it. So Mercury is spending quite a bit of time in this particular gate. And as you know, retrogrades, they move forward into a sign or a gate, and then they slow down and station, turn around and come back, and then they slow down and station again and turn around and go forward. Now, of course, this is just what we see from the Earth. It's not Mercury, the planet is not actually going backward, but it's affecting us in that way. And the invitation with all retrogrades, no matter what the planet is to go back over the territory that we have just been on and to review, to revise, to take another look, to see, is there something I missed? Is there something else I can go deeper with? Is there something that is emerging now that I can see that I couldn't see or I couldn't feel when it was going forward, but now I can as we're going back through the retrograde motion? And then, of course, it's going to turn around and go back over that same territory again. So the gate 62 is the gate of details in traditional human design or the gate of preparation in quantum human design. And the message that I got today was, what kind of preparation are you doing right now? Now, of course, this can be simple things that are happening in your life, like if you're planning on going on a vacation, or you're planning to move, or you're planning to start a new, a new project or a new job or something like that. You could be preparing for those kind of mundane, ordinary reality type of things. But this message was not about that. This was about your spiritual focus and your spiritual growth and your spiritual health, really. And the message was, are you preparing, for example, by hoarding food, by hoarding water, by getting a generator, by making sure that you have a safe place to go in the midst of, a major breakdown, apocalyptic kind of breakdown? Are you outfitting like a vehicle that you can take with you, right? And are you even getting like a firearm because you're preparing for the apocalypse? Basically, you're preparing for everything falling apart, and you're preparing for that to experience that in your own life. Or are you preparing yourself by working with the frequency of your energy field? Are you preparing by consistently looking at the parts of you that are wounded and that are coming to the surface and are asking for your attention so that they can release the trauma and then become integrated into the fuller part of who you are? Are you preparing by paying attention to the way that you speak, the energy that you use when you speak, the energy that you're emitting when you go out and are around other people? Are you preparing by noticing how you feel when you're out in the world and how your sense of your own energy field is interacting with other people? Are you preparing by really going inside every single day, sometimes more than once a day, and tuning in to the unified field, which is the space of all possibility? The yoga tradition calls it the Garva, which I actually love, which is the great cosmic womb. Are you tuning in to the infinite possibilities and opportunities and energy that is available to you when we tune in to that level of energy? Are you paying attention to and are you preparing yourself by being able to move beyond the limitation of the analytical mind or of the survival brain that is trying to keep you in fear so that you can tap into the true messages and wholeness that is coming to you from your higher self and yes, from your guides, because everyone has a higher self and everyone has guides, whether they know it or not. So this is really the big opportunity that we have and the choice point that we have. Are we preparing for complete breakdown or are we preparing our own selves in ways that are going to help us to bring forth the world that we want to live in, where we have 0 point energy, for example, which we already know exists. There are people who have already done that research but we have been prevented from being able to utilize it. So are you preparing for what might happen when we have 0 point energy? When we are able to awaken all 12 strands of our DNA? Are you preparing your body for that? Are you preparing your psyche for that? Are you preparing, the things in your world for that? Right? And so this is Mercury is asking us, what are the details that we are preparing for? Now, having said that, I will say I have extra food in my house. I have a battery in my house that is not going to run my refrigerator for days or anything like that. But we do have power outages here in where I live in Northern California for a variety of different reasons. And so I do have that battery, which will help me, for a day or two. But I don't have a huge generator that I'm expecting to live on. And I think it's just smart to have some extra food depending on what might happen. But I am not hoarding and I am not overly preparing. Once I bought that extra food, I haven't thought about it. I don't think about it. So the question I want you to kind of really lean into is, what future are you preparing for? And which future makes you feel better? Which future inspires you and gives you energy and makes you want to participate in the world? And which story is making you contract and not listen to your inner messages and find other people that you can bond with around feeling like the apocalypse is coming, right? What choices are you making? We know we've had many, many choice points, but we're really in it right now. All of the astrology is sending in this direction, and Mercury turning retrograde on Monday is a part of it. We also have a full moon in Capricorn that is happening on the 29th, and we also have Jupiter moving into Leo the next day. So this is a supercharged time for you to be really looking at where are you putting your energy, what are you tuning into, and what's going to really serve you going forward. All right, I have delivered my message, and I want to send you many, many blessings and much love. And know that you really do have a powerful choice about what you want to attend to and where you want to send your energy. All right, my friends, much love. Bye for now.